It is a curious thing, isn't it, to find oneself gazing into a mirror, only to be met by the face of someone who seems altogether younger than their years, as if time has overlooked them, passed them by without so much as a glance. What a strange, even shocking phenomenon it is, for we are conditioned to believe that time is merciless, that the years accumulate inevitably, that every wrinkle, every grey hair is a trophy of experience, of aging. And yet here you are, standing defiant against the expected. But what if I told you this defiance runs much deeper than mere biology? What if I suggested that your youthful appearance might be the result of forces at work beneath the surface, forces that are often unseen and unconsidered? It is said that the body is a reflection of the soul, and perhaps nothing demonstrates this truth more strikingly than those who appear to remain ageless, even though they have lived through many seasons of life. There is perhaps a hidden secret here, an almost shocking revelation, that those who look younger than their years are not merely lucky or blessed by genetics. No, something much more profound is at play, something that starts not in the body, but deep within the very heart. Let us first consider the curious phenomenon of joy. It is not often remarked upon, but joy, true, unrestrained joy, has a way of preserving youth. I have observed that those who truly seem to defy age are individuals who radiate an unusual lightness of spirit. You see, joy is not simply an emotion, it is a state of being. And what does joy do to the body? It softens the features, smooths the brow, opens the eyes. There is a glow that accompanies joy, an inner vibrance that manifests outwardly. It is almost as if the soul has found its full expression, and in doing so, refuses to conform to the ordinary rules of time. This lightness of being, this ability to laugh in the face of difficulty, to find the beauty even in the mundane, this, I suggest, is the secret of youth. It is not just the absence of age, but the presence of something infinitely more powerful. Those who have learned to live with joy seem to possess an antidote to the ravages of time. It is not an easy peace to find, nor is it granted lightly. True inner peace is often forged in the crucible of life's hardships. It is born not from the absence of challenges, but from the ability to face those challenges without being undone by them. The person who has lived through trials, who has faced loss, disappointment, or adversity, may emerge from those experiences bearing scars, but also a profound understanding that the external world does not have the power to disturb the soul's serenity. It is in this quiet acceptance, this unshakable peace, that a kind of agelessness takes root. When the soul is at peace, it no longer succumbs to the pressures of time, stress, anxiety, and worry. The enemies of youth are powerless in the face of true peace. The body, which would normally bear the weight of these stresses through tension, fatigue, and aging signs, is instead free to relax and rejuvenate. The lines that stress leaves behind on the face soften, the skin takes on a smoother texture, and the eyes regain their spark. This is not the result of youth's fleeting appearance, but the result of a deeper, enduring tranquility that defies the ravages of time. Peace, it seems, is not only a state of mind, but a balm for the body. In the absence of inner conflict, the body can heal itself, can refresh itself, and can keep its youthful appearance much longer. Stress, on the other hand, accelerates the aging process, creating tension in the muscles and deep furrows in the face, reflecting the chaos inside. But those who have learned to find peace, who have cultivated a quiet strength through life's trials, are not easily worn down. Their faces may reflect the wisdom of their years, but they also radiate a serenity that makes them seem ageless. The remarkable truth about inner peace is that it is not simply a defense against the pressures of aging. It is, in a very real sense, a victory over it. In a world that constantly tries to convince us that time is our enemy, peace reminds us that the most powerful force we can wield against aging is not a potion, not a treatment, but a calm acceptance of life as it is. In this acceptance, the soul finds its rejuvenation, and the body reflects that timeless vitality. Those who have learned this secret know that true peace comes not from avoiding life's difficulties, but from facing them with a steady heart and an unwavering sense of self. And in this peace, they find not only a sense of freedom from the outside world, but also the ability to remain youthful, untouched by the years, free from the harsh grip of time's passage. Love is a force that transcends time itself. It has the unique ability to nurture not only the soul but the body as well. To love deeply, unconditionally, is to tap into a wellspring of vitality and renewal that can have profound effects on one's appearance. The energy we invest in others through acts of kindness, compassion, and connection doesn't just shape the lives of those we love. It transforms us. It replenishes the well of our own life force, preserving our vitality and, perhaps most remarkably, contributing to a youthful radiance that defies the inevitable passage of years. When we love, truly love, we open ourselves up to others in ways that go beyond surface-level interactions. It is an intimate exchange, a bond that calls for the very best of us. This deep, selfless love nourishes the heart in a way that mere happiness or fleeting affection cannot. There is a healing power in unconditional love, one that acts like a balm on the spirit. It calms the turbulence of life, smoothing out the sharp edges that time and experience inevitably leave behind. In this quieting of the soul, there is rejuvenation, not just emotionally, but physically as well. Studies have long shown the undeniable connection between emotional well-being and physical health, but love, in particular, acts as a powerful agent of this connection. When we give love freely, we are not simply exchanging affection with others, we are also replenishing ourselves. The act of loving releases endorphins, those feel-good hormones that help reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and even improve our immune system. This surge of positive energy flows back into the person giving love, helping to preserve their strength, vitality, and, surprisingly, their youthful appearance. The face of someone who loves deeply is often softer, more vibrant and full of life. It is a look that cannot be faked, for it comes not from external treatments or artificial means, but from the heart. There is an undeniable glow that shines through when someone is genuinely engaged in giving love. Their eyes sparkle with warmth, their smile reflects the joy of connection, and their skin seems to retain a luminosity that is typically associated with youth. In a very real sense, love revitalizes the body, making it appear younger, fresher, and more alive. Moreover, loving others also teaches us to be more compassionate toward ourselves. In the act of loving, we often learn to forgive, to accept imperfections, and to embrace the present moment with gratitude. This shift in perspective releases us from the stress and anxiety that can prematurely age us. The person who can love without reservation, without fear of being hurt or rejected, creates a kind of protective shield around themselves. They no longer carry the burden of self-doubt or resentment, both of which are emotional weights that accelerate aging. Instead, their heart remains open, their spirit light, and their body is allowed to retain its youthful vitality. And there's something even more extraordinary at play here, something that may shock you further. The key to looking younger may lie in how much we give of ourselves. Yes, it may sound paradoxical, but it is true. Those who seem to remain youthful often have a remarkable capacity to love. They love without reservation, without holding back, without fear of being hurt. And in giving themselves, they receive something unexpected in return, the energy they invest in others. Whether it be through acts of kindness, compassion, or selflessness, somehow nourishes them in ways we cannot easily explain. Love, you see, is not a burden. It is a fountain of youth. When we love deeply, we are not only transformed inwardly, but our very bodies seem to respond. It is as though the heart, when it remains open and giving, holds the power to preserve the outward form. The person who loves unconditionally is a person who somehow defies the very forces of time. Now, let us speak of something that may strike you as utterly shocking, the act of surrender. The youthfully ageless among us often possess a rare ability to surrender to the present moment, surrender to the inevitable changes of life. They have come to understand, perhaps more than most, that the battle against time is futile. Rather than fighting against the inevitable, they embrace it. They stop resisting life's natural rhythms. This surrender, paradoxically, gives them a freedom that others, those who desperately cling to the past or fret over the future, cannot know. And in this freedom there is a strange beauty that emanates outwardly. The lines on their faces, the graying of hair, these things do not signify defeat, but rather the acceptance of the fullness of life. And it is this acceptance, this fearless surrender, that allows them to remain untouched by the slow march of years. There is yet another hidden truth in this matter, the ability to learn. The ageless do not close themselves off from the world. They remain curious, constantly absorbing, constantly growing. This refusal to stagnate, this hunger for knowledge, is perhaps one of the most shocking reasons for their youthful appearance. They may be decades older than you, but in their eyes there is always something new to discover, always something yet to learn. This hunger keeps them young, keeps their minds sharp and their spirits agile. To stop learning is to stop living, to cease growing, and it is only through continued growth that the soul can remain as fresh as the body. Lastly, there is the matter of purpose. It may seem simple, but I assure you it is anything but. The ageless are those who have found a reason to get up every morning, something that gives their lives meaning. It is a shocking truth, but those without purpose seem to age much faster than those who wake with passion in their hearts. A life without direction, without a deeper calling, is a life that surrenders to the weight of time. But when one has purpose, when one feels that they are part of something larger, something important, they are sustained, as though time itself loses its grip. So, what is the hidden truth behind looking younger than your age? Perhaps it is not merely about the body at all. Perhaps it is something more profound, something that the mind, the heart and the soul can shape, something that defies reason and perhaps even shocks us in its audacity to break all the rules. There is something truly magical about the nature of joy. It is a force unlike any other, capable of transforming not just the inner world of a person, but also their outer appearance. While the world may try to convince us that age is a process that marks the body with inevitable lines and wear, joy defies that logic in a profound way. It radiates outward in such a way that it seems to reverse the very passage of time, making its possessor appear ageless. True joy is not the fleeting happiness that comes from momentary pleasures, nor is it the kind of joy that fades as quickly as it arrives. It is a deep, unrestrained lightness of being, a freedom from the burdens and anxieties that often age the soul. When a person is genuinely joyful, when they greet the world with laughter in their heart, when they approach life with curiosity and wonder, it shows. It shows in the way their eyes sparkle with interest, in the way their lips curl into a natural smile, and even in the way they carry themselves through the world. This kind of joy softens the hardest edges of life and smooths away the lines that would otherwise etch themselves into our faces. The very act of joyful living produces a physical glow. The facial muscles, which often tighten in stress or worry, loosen when one is at peace with the world and able to laugh at its absurdities. The brow, which may furrow with the weight of worries, relaxes and becomes smoother, almost as though it has been unburdened. When joy radiates from within, the face reflects it. It is as though the spirit, having found its true happiness, calls upon the body to mirror that state, and this, in turn, makes the person appear years younger than their age. Perhaps this is the greatest secret of youth, the ability to live unburdened, to find joy in the mundane, to be content in the present moment. When joy is at the center of a person's life, they are no longer chasing after time, no longer fearing the inevitable. Instead, they have embraced the wonder of existence itself, and this acceptance of life's beauty creates an almost miraculous defiance of age. In a world where we are often taught to dread the passage of time, joy serves as a reminder that age is not something to be feared, but something to be celebrated. In essence, joy is not just a fleeting emotion. It is a powerful, life-affirming force that breathes vitality into the soul and restores youth to the body. So, if you wish to retain your youth for longer, you may need to look no further than your own capacity to embrace joy in every moment. In the chaotic rush of life, the pursuit of inner peace often feels like an elusive dream. Yet it is this very stillness, this calm state of mind, that holds the incredible power to defy the march of time. The world around us constantly demands more work, more worries, more distractions. But those who learn to find peace amid the noise discover a secret to timelessness that many overlook. The remarkable thing about love is that it is, in many ways, a regenerative force. It does not merely sustain us, it reinvigorates us. The deeper we love, the more we are filled with energy, and this life force manifests not only in our emotional and mental state, but also in our physical presence. So, when we speak of preserving youth, we cannot overlook love. It is the invisible thread that connects us to the essence of life itself, keeping us vibrant, strong, and yes, forever youthful. In a world that constantly tells us to strive for more, to fight against the inevitable, there is an overlooked power in surrender. To surrender to life's rhythms is to accept the changes that come with the passage of time. without resistance or fear. It is to allow life to unfold in its own natural course, without desperately clinging to what is past or anxiously dreading what is to come. This kind of surrender doesn't signal defeat or passivity. Rather, it unlocks a kind of unexpected freedom that is both liberating and, perhaps surprisingly, rejuvenating. The ability to embrace life's inevitable changes requires a deep, almost radical acceptance. We are constantly taught to fight against aging, to preserve our youth through external means, to resist the march of time with creams, treatments, and surgeries. But those who have learned to surrender to life's rhythms do not fall prey to this futile battle. They understand that aging is not something to be feared or fought against, but a natural process to be embraced with grace. In doing so, they free themselves from the anxiety that often accompanies growing older. This surrender to life's rhythms, this acceptance of time as it is, actually has the remarkable effect of preserving youthfulness. When one no longer resists the natural aging process, there is an extraordinary freedom that emerges. Instead of being weighed down by the pressure to stay youthful or to resist the inevitable, the individual becomes lighter, more at peace with themselves and the world around them. This peace radiates outward, softening the harsh lines of stress and worry, and creating a kind of natural glow that comes from deep contentment. It is within this acceptance that a surprising youthfulness emerges. The person who surrenders to life's rhythms has freed themselves from the constant tension and anxiety that often come with trying to halt time. They no longer fear the wrinkles that come with age, nor do they dread the changes in their body. Instead, they accept each new phase with a quiet, grounded wisdom that only comes with experience, the wisdom of knowing that every season of life brings its own gifts and beauty. And it is this understanding that keeps their spirit forever youthful. The act of surrender is also deeply freeing because it allows a person to live fully in the present. When we are not preoccupied with what has been or what might come, we can immerse ourselves in the now. And this freedom to live fully in the present moment is one of the most rejuvenating experiences available to us. It rejuvenates the soul, and by extension the body as well. A person who is not bound by the past or terrified of the future can experience life with an open heart and an open mind, making them appear younger, not because they resist age, but because they have found peace with it. In essence, surrendering to life's rhythms is not about giving up. It is about giving in to the flow of life. It is a recognition that control over time is an illusion, and the true power lies in embracing the ebb and flow of life without fear, without regret. This acceptance, this quiet surrender, allows the body and soul to remain youthful, agile, and resilient, defying traditional signs of aging in the most profound way. There is an undeniable link between curiosity and the preservation of youth, a connection that transcends the physical and extends to the very essence of what it means to be alive. Curiosity, this deep, insatiable thirst for learning and discovery, does not merely enrich the mind, it invigorates the spirit, keeping one's energy fresh and youthful long into the later stages of life. In fact, the ability to remain curious and open to new ideas may be one of the most vital forces in maintaining not just mental sharpness, but an enduring vitality that defies the passage of years. As we age, it is easy to become set in our ways, to settle into familiar routines and accept the limitations of our knowledge and experience. The world can seem like a place that no longer holds as much wonder, the endless possibilities of youth replaced by the predictable patterns of adulthood. Yet, those who remain curious, who continue to ask questions, explore new ideas and seek out new experiences, defy this trap of complacency. Curiosity sparks the continual expansion of the mind, keeping it agile and sharp, much like the body is kept strong through regular exercise. People who maintain a passion for learning often possess a youthful energy that others lack, not because they have escaped the effects of time, but because their approach to life is filled with the vigor of discovery. They are never finished learning, and that hunger for new knowledge keeps them alert, engaged, and full of life. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, diving into a book, mastering a new skill, or simply staying informed about the world around them, the act of learning creates a dynamic internal environment. This intellectual vitality creates a ripple effect, revitalizing the person's emotional and physical state as well. The act of learning itself can actually reshape the brain, encouraging neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections throughout life. This mental flexibility is essential for maintaining cognitive health and sharpness as we age. The brain, much like the body, thrives when it is constantly challenged and exercised. And it is not just the ability to memorize facts or acquire technical skills that keeps one young. It is the open-mindedness, the flexibility of thought, and the willingness to entertain new ideas that fosters the most profound kind of youthful energy. Furthermore, curiosity fuels a sense of wonder, and wonder is perhaps the greatest antidote to the mundane and aging. To wonder is to be present, to experience the world with childlike enthusiasm and a sense of possibility. People who continue to wonder, whether it's marveling at the vastness of the universe, contemplating the mysteries of science, or even marveling at the simple beauty of the world around them, are never fully confined by age. They see the world as something still full of promise, and this perspective keeps them youthful. Those who have cultivated the habit of curiosity are often energized by the simple joy of discovery. They don't allow age to define them because they are constantly defining themselves through their growth. They live with an openness that keeps their mind clear, their spirit engaged, and their body alive with energy. Growth, in all its forms, becomes their fountain of youth. And it is not just about learning facts. It is about living with an active engagement in the world, with the belief that no matter how many years one has lived, there is always more to discover. Thus, the pursuit of knowledge and the curiosity to continue growing are not just keys to maintaining a youthful mind. They are, in many ways, the secret to maintaining youth itself. By staying curious, we not only keep the mind sharp, but also keep the soul vibrant, engaged, and full of life. Curiosity offers the ultimate defense against the stagnation of age, and in this pursuit of knowledge, we find an unending wellspring of energy and vitality.